guys. Welcome, welcome, one and all. What is going on with everybody out there? We got us a start of a brand new series here. Something that I've been putting together, working on for a while here. And that is going to be Dead of Winter. So we originally bought Dead of Winter, the base game, a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably get the Long Night as well, and the Warring Colonies expansion. And I ended up buying the Long Night combo. Somebody was selling it with the original Dead of Night or Dead of Winter as well. So I got like the combo pack, and then I ended up picking up the Dead of Winter Warring Colonies expansion. Super hard to find, unfortunately for us, because we're going to be playing two-handed solo. So you're basically, there's some rules in the the Long Night, sorry, for playing solo and for playing two-handed. So I'm combining playing solo and two-handed together. So you basically are going to be playing solo two-handed. So we're going to be working cooperatively. So when you decide on your little objective, you can flip it over and go on the other side, and it's got these big red exclamation points and says, oh, this is like the difficult side, which is what you're supposed to play when you're doing the cooperative mode. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll probably do that. I'll just randomize this and we'll just randomly decide to do one. But since we were playing with the Long Road, and I've never actually played with that, there are several new modules it adds to the game. The Raxon special module. Let's see if I can get this board out. So Raxon has got its own location. This is basically like a research facility, and they have all kinds of really crazy zombies that can come out and do all kinds of crazy, nasty things. So I figured, well, if you're going to learn how to play with the expansion, they actually have an expansion to learn how to play the expansion. They have an expansion scenario. So this is the special main objective R1. And it says before setup, read the manual on page 20 of the rule book, and then it says your starting morale starts at 7 and your round track starts at 3. So I said, oh, okay. So to learn how to play this module and all the cool things that it has, it's got its own deck of cards that will activate and bring in bad weirdo zombies. You can see there's one that's like claw zombie, and then there's like brute zombie, and there's like blob zombie, and and I just knocked them all over. Great job, Jester. Great job. There's all kinds of different ones. There's even one with a shopping cart. I don't know if that's a zombie. And actually might be... no, I think it is actually a zombie. I don't know. We're going to keep it in the zombie pile because it was in the zombie pile. Alright, so that's one thing the expansion, the Long Night, adds. The second thing it adds is another big player board called the Bandit Hideout. And it adds bandits to the game. And the bandits show up in the locations and they steal the supplies that's there and take it back to their base. So I think we're going to be playing with that as well. Alright, so we're going to add, I'm going to cut these cards. There we go. And shuffle these for the Raxon. So the Raxon is kind of a cool little thing where, like I said, it adds those. You can go and search at it. It has like weird things that you can find, like these special pills that you can take, which will either instantly kill you or cause bad things. You can also find flamethrowers and mine throwers and blueprints and test subjects and portable barriers, all kinds of really unique, different things. So, Viper Dave, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Lower, slower board gamer, good to see you. So that deck is shoveled up. So we're going to be playing the special main objective R1 mission, which is going to teach us everything we're going to need to know about the Raxon. So we're basically going to follow this. Alright, so it says, so, because we're playing solo, and we're playing two-handed solo, so when you're playing two-handed, two players, basically two players, if you're playing with two players, you shuffle out 4 investigators to each character, each person, and then they select 3 of the 4 to keep for their team, and then that person runs 3, and the other player runs another 3 team, and then we're playing cooperatively as well. So little confusing there. So obviously, if you're not familiar with Dead of Winter, it is a horror survival for mature audiences. I will say that right here, right now, because a lot of these, I wouldn't say a lot, but several of these cards have got a special symbol on them. And you can remove those cards from the game if you don't want to deal with very spicy subjects like sex and, murder, things like that. So this is, you can take those cards out if you want. I am choosing not to take these cards out, so we might run into some of those cards. So you just keep that in mind. This is not a PG-13. This is an R-rated video game or board game. So keep that in mind. So hello, Phoenix Knight. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So we're going to go through setup, and if anyone has any input on anything, let me know. We are going to be adding the new equipment. We're going to be adding the only thing we're adding from Warring Colonies. So Warring Colonies, what it adds is basically where you have 2 groups of survivors, each have their own base, and they're basically trying to determine who's going to end up winning based upon whichever faction does the best at the end of the game. Obviously, we're not playing that because you need like 6, 8, 10 people to play that. We got 1. So we're not doing that. I'm not going to run 2 different bases and stuff. So that's the cool thing with this. If you go into a game convention or something and there's a lot of players around and you can find 6, 8, 10 people, I think that would be super cool to play warring colonies where one team is doing one thing, another team is doing another thing, and you're kind of pitting one another against one another to see how well you can do it. We're not doing that. The only thing we're doing is we're taking the cards out of here and putting them in our crisis deck and our all the other decks of cards that will accompany a solo 2-player game. So a lot of these cards will specifically need you to be playing the Warring Colonies. So we've already removed those cards. There's a bunch of them that I removed. And then the other thing it adds is random equipment. And what you can do is normally for each of your different locations, the police station, the grocery store, the school, the library, the hospital, and the gas station, your 6 main locations, you normally have 20 cards, and those are the set 20 cards. So what the Warring Colonies adds is a random deck of equipment, and what you do is shuffle this up, and you add 5 cards into each one of the stacks. So instead of 20 cards, each stack has got 25, and there's 5 random cards in there to add some surprise elements and just unknown about what's going to be in each location and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. So I added that to the game. Obviously, we added the new characters as long as their special ability didn't need the Warring Colonies going on. We added the crisis cards. We added those, but again, we took a bunch of them out that had the special icon on them that you need to be playing with the Warring Colonies to activate those. So we've adjusted all that. So, all right. If you go to our scenario, which is going to be in the dead of winter, the long night. If you got this at home and you want to follow along, we're going to page number 20. This is going to be the Chimp and the Code. So, the long night special scenarios. These scenarios and the related main objective cards are intended to introduce the rules and background stories for the Raxon and Bandits modules that come with the long night. We recommend using each of these objectives as your starting point for experiencing modules for the long night. To set up any of these scenarios, follow the setup instructions for the scenario. You do not need to read all the rules for the module before you start one of these scenarios. The scenario will instruct you what you need for the module rules. So that's kind of the intro. Now, the Chimp and the Code. To set up the Raxon introductory scenario, set up the game as if you are playing with the Raxon module as instructed on page 18 of the rulebook with the following adjustments. Okay, so we're going to be playing with the Raxon, and again, that's kind of like this special research facility that's trying to find a cure, but they're doing it maybe with a little free will, kind of doing it their way, and they're making monstrosities out of test subjects to try and find a cure, and it's not really hasn't been successful yet. All right, the Chimp and the Code. Yep. So we're going to place barriers on the entrance and survivor spaces on the Raxon location. Survivors may not move to Raxon at the beginning of the game. Do not use the Raxon module pill item rule or containment code rules. Remove Blue and Emma Han from the survivor deck and set them aside. So Blue is a chimpanzee character, and Emma Han is a lady student. I think it's a student. Yes, she's a student. So we're setting these two aside, so we won't randomly get these two characters. Instead of having a normal main objective cards, we're going to use a special card R1, which is, again, from our stash here. and have everyone read the italics text below out loud at the beginning of the game. The colony is starting to feel like home, but like any relief since the outbreak, it's only temporary. A bigger, better colony means more noise and traffic, which leads to more and more zombies banging at the entrances. And despite our barriers, when it comes to zombies, quality has quantity on its own. I was planning to leave for good the night Emma brought home new help. While exploring, she had discovered the blueprints at the abandoned Raxon pharmaceutical facility. I've always assumed Raxon Pharmaceutical was just a pill factory, but the blueprints reveal the full breadth of Raxon's operation. Medical research, experimental technology, even military-grade weaponry. So add Emma Hand's standee to the colony and add her survivor card to the first player. So she is going to be in the colony, and she is, we'll look at her in just a second. Let me finish this up. So add Emma Hand standee to the colony and add her survivor card to the first player. Then find the Raxon blueprints in the Raxon search deck and equip them to Emma. I actually saw that when I was flipping through the Raxon blueprints. Got them. Okay, we'll look at those here in a second. Shuffle these back up. Doing that at a con would also require one to go to a con and actually pretend to be social. Kind of hard for a solo gamer. Well, we're going to make you social whether you like it or not, you little social butterfly, you. Alright, okay. Neither of us ventured into Raxon since the main entrance is heavily barricaded, but now we have a good reason to explore. The plan is to gather the supplies necessary to blow open Raxon's entrance. Best case scenario, we'll get in and find something to deal with the zombies at the colony. At the very least, the explosion should draw zombies away from the colony temporarily. In this world, temporary relief is the best we can hope for. You may now begin the game with Special Objective Card R1. The next section should be read once Special Main Objective R1 has been completed. So we will not peek at the next section until we have Special Section R1 under our belts. Okay. Setup before setting up the main objective. Read page 20, which we just did. Now, morale starts at 7. So we are morale. I'm going to move some of this stuff around. Give us a little bit of space. All right. Morale is at 7. Round track starts at 3. So this could be over before it started. Okay. Add 12 zombies to the colony. Each round, during the add zombies step of the colony phase, increase the number of zombies added to the colony by 4. Okay. Well. I gotta get all my stuff out of the way so I can switch over to the other camera. We have, alright, so we have 12 zombies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, the way you put zombies on, and this is This is kind of important. I guess I should do it the proper way. Is you put 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And cool thing is, because I had bought Dead of Winter, and then I bought the combo pack Dead of Winter, and then I bought the Warring Colonies expansion, I have tons and tons of standees for zombies. As you can see, I've got a whole set here. I've got a whole another set up here. I've got tons and tons of zombies. So I won't be running out of zombies to place. I think we'll run out of locations before I run out of zombies. And this isn't even with, I don't believe I took my other Dead of Winter and added it to this game, which I probably should do to save some space. But anyways, let's continue the card. Objective completed. This is what we need to do. There are a combination of tools and fuel. Is it fuel or food? What is that? I think it's fuel. There are a combination of tools and fuel cards under this objective card equal to the number of players. 2. So we need to get those and put them underneath this card. Players may place non-starter tools and fuel cards under this objective anytime during their turn. At least one card of each type must be placed. When this objective is complete, the game does not end. No. All we're doing is gathering the supplies to blow open the front door so we can get into the Raxon facility. When this objective is complete, the game does not end. Instead, follow the instructions on page 20 of the rulebook. So that is our objective right now. Okay. So, we will figure out who our teams are and our different teams, and then we'll get Emma set up. She's going to go to the first player. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look at Emma. Emma. All right, Emma has got a what is that? I forget what the name of that is, but she's got a attack of 5+ and a search of 3+. This says non-colony, so she can't be in the colony to do this. Once per round, you may reveal the top 4 cards from the item deck at Emma's location. If you reveal at least one book card, you may select one of the revealed book cards and place it into your hand. Shuffle the remaining cards back into the item deck. Once per round, you may reveal the top 4 cards of the item deck at Emma's location. If you reveal at least one, it looks like a book. I believe, is that a book or is that a fuel? I think that's a book. If you reveal at least one book card, you may select one of the revealed book cards and place it into your hand. Shuffle the remaining cards back into them. Yeah, the school's got books. The school, so yeah. And we don't have Blue yet. Poor Blue is just test subject 112 is just not available yet. All right, so let's get team number 1. Book or blueprints? All right, yeah, there we go. Thank you. Just wanted to double check that. You can see with all the base game and the expansions, there are a lot of characters that we can be. And of course, this doesn't count Emma or Blue, so there's a lot more. And there's about 4 or 5 I had to put back in the box because they dealt with just just either non-co-op rules, like when you're, stealing cards from other players, which you don't do in co-op mode, or making other players miss turns or doing bad things to other players. So those cards are all out. And then also the cards about the warring colonies. Like certain characters had special abilities that let them do things with the warring colonies. We're not playing with warring colonies, so those all are out. So there was probably about another 8 or 10 of these guys that I put back in the box. And the cool thing is each of them has like little icons down in the bottom that represent different things and tells you what they can or cannot do. And then, there's certain icons if you're playing cooperatively, they can't have certain icons on there. So you're just going through looking for the different icons. So, all right, team number 1. We're going to give them 4 cards. Again, we're setting this up for a 2-player solo cooperative game. All right. So as I finish shuffling this, which I think it's important to shuffle these up really well because I got different decks from different expansions. I want to make sure, you're not just getting the same ones. It's important to understand Dead of Winter was designed to be a survival threat resource management with the possibility of a trader, as well as having enemies such as the environment and zombies that the players have to worry about. So players have to worry about the cold. You can't travel from location to location like you can normally. Every time you do, you're going to be rolling this die. And bad things can happen if you roll frostbite or you take wounds or whatever. Every time you move from one location to another. So you do not want to move just willy-nilly. The environment works against you. And then, of course, everywhere you go, there's zombies to try and eat your face and cause problems. So you got to constantly fight zombies. And every time you fight a zombie, you have to roll this dice. And one side of this die is the bite mark. And this is the oh shit side of the die. There's only one, but eventually you're going to roll this. And what happens is that is instant death. And not only is it instant death, it's instant death to that character. And then the next lowest morale number, I think it's morale, I think is what this number is. The next lowest character in morale has to choose. You have to choose for that character. Either they die and the outbreak is over, or you risk it and you got to roll this dice if you want to keep that character alive, and you have to roll a blank on this. If you don't roll a blank, that character dies and you go to the next one. You can have this outbreak that happens and wipes out your whole colony in one turn. It's horrible. So you have to decide how badly do you want to keep these characters around. So this is one of these games. It is it's very thematic and story driven, and the players make this story, and that's what we're going to try to do. Now, normally what you play is, when you're playing 2 players or multiplayers, is you have this crossroads deck. And each one of these crossroads decks has like this one says, if the player controls Brian, and Brian is in the colony, Brian Lee. So if you control Brian, or Brian Lee is in the colony, right, then this happens. This goes into effect during your turn, and it can be something good, it can be something bad. It's just random stuff. So normally what you do is when you're playing multiplayer is one player looks at the card for the next player in line and watches to see if he does something that activates that special thing. So to keep these cards in play, because I'm playing solo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce what I'm doing during my time. Then we're going to flip up the card and see if any of those actions would activate that card. Because I think these cards are super important to keep in for the flavor of the game, for the essence of the game. Now these, you might play a game and you might only have maybe one or two of these ever come into effect, but they normally come into effect and change either positively or negatively for the players. It usually makes a moment to happen. Oh no, I got Brian Lee, then I've got to do this, and then we have to make a decision on what we're going to do, and it's going to have a great moment. So obviously I can't read that ahead of time and then make my decisions on what I'm going to do, because then I will know so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, this is what these characters are going to do. Boom, this guy's going to move, and this guy's going to search, this guy's going to attack, this guy's going to do this, and then we'll flip up the card to see if any of those actions happen that activates that card. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we got 12 zombies. Look at that. We got little baby zombies. Isn't that cute? We got full-grown adult zombies, and then we got little baby zombies. It's like a little zombie family going on here. All right, again, last time I'm warning you, this game is for mature adults, mature audiences. You can play without the mature stuff, but you have to remove a lot of cards that have things on them that you might not want to deal with. We did not remove any of those, so if you're offended easily, how do I want to put it, squirmish or whatever, and you don't want to have to deal with it, then maybe this isn't the playthrough for you to watch. So I'm just warning everyone up front now, because I don't want to get a bunch of comments and posts later on that I can't believe you did this, I can't believe you said this, blah blah blah. I'm just reading the card. If that offends you, then go somewhere else and watch, because I'm just warning you ahead of time, okay? All right, here we go. I shuffled this enough. Let's draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what we get. Let's switch to the other camera. All right. We got Jaya Najar, the physical therapist. Attack on 2 or higher. Very good. 3 or higher in a search. 49 morale. Anywhere at the end of your turn, you may remove any type of wound token from a survivor at the colony. Wow. That seems pretty good. We have Brandon Kane, the janitor. Morale of 26. I don't think it's morale. What is that number? I want to keep calling it morale when I know it's not morale. So we'll look at the number. I'm sure it tells us what it is. It is number 3. The influence value. The survivor's place within the hierarchy of the colony. Higher number is your higher your influence. Higher your influence, the more important you are. So the janitor, Brandon Kane, is 26. He attacks on a 2 or higher, searches on a 4 or higher. Colony, 1 per round. You may remove 5 cards instead of 3 from the waste pile when taking the clean waste action. So he would be good at keeping things nice and clean. We got Hawk Wheeler, the cowgirl, influence of 35. 2 or higher attack, real good attack. 3 or higher on search. Non-colony. Once per round during your turn, you may move 1 to 2 zombies from one non-colony location to empty entrance spaces at one other non-colony location with at least one empty survivor space. Then move Hawk Wheeler to that location, rolling for exposure, which cannot be prevented. So she can kind of force zombies into a certain area, which might be very useful. Ooh, I think this is one of the new guys. Marcus Johnson, he's got an 80. Very high, very, very high. 1 or higher, he's going to automatically hit on an attack. 5 or higher to search. He looks like a Marine or something. Let's see. He's a security officer. Anywhere, Marcus adds +2 to combat strength in combat instead of +1. Once per round, Marcus may select one of his equipped weapons and use it once per round ability twice this round. Huh. Well, this is worthless if you don't have a weapon. He's one of the new characters, which would be nice to play with. Unfortunately, he can use a weapon once a turn ability twice, which is super. I think we're going to get rid of Hawk Wheeler. I think I like the janitor to be able to clean things up. Gaia here, she can remove any type of wound token from a survivor at the colony, so she can stay at the colony, and every time somebody tries to come back, if they get frostbitten or whatever, she can remove that. And then this guy can go out and try and find a weapon, and he might be able to blow a lot of people away. So Hawk Wheeler, the cowgirl, is out. This is team number 1. And not only that, they have the 80, which means more than likely they're going to get first go. All right. Let's see what team number 2 is about. One, two, three, four. All right. Now we'll keep these extra cards somewhere. Maybe there. Because occasionally you'll find new guys to add to the colony. So, all right. Let's see what we got. We got Mike Chow, the ninja. 30 influence, 2 attack, 4 to search anywhere when performing an attack. With Mike, do not roll for exposure. Oh, so you can fight zombies without taking damage. That's super good. We're going to keep him. We have Derek Yoshida, the nutritionist. 23 influence, 2 or higher on attack, 3 or higher on search. Anywhere, as long as Derek is in play, players may spend a food token during their turn to remove any type of wound token from their survivor. Players may do this multiple times during their turn. So basically, a food to remove bad things. That's pretty good. Andrew Evans, the farmer, only 12 influence, 3 or higher on the fight, 3 or higher on the search. He can only do this at the grocery store once per round when performing a search. At the grocery store, you may look at and keep 1 additional card. That's not horrible. And then we have the enforcer. He's only an influence of 8, 1 or higher on the combat, 6 or higher on the search. He's a vigilante, non-colony. 4 or higher, kill 3 zombies at the enforcer's location. So he rolls a die. If he rolls 4 or higher, he just kills 3 zombies at his location. He does not roll for exposure. but he adds 2 noise tokens to his location. Optional. Announce to the other players a snappy one-liner that the enforcer shouts out as he handily executes the zombies. So that is our 4. We got Mike Chow, the ninja. Derek Yoshida, which is going to prevent anyone from taking damage. And then we have the farmer, which is good at getting stuff at the grocery store. Or the enforcer, which can take out a lot of zombies. I'm actually going to keep these 3 and get rid of... I'm going to keep these 3 and get rid of Mike. Or Andrew Evans, the farmer. I think having the enforcer, maybe killing a lot of zombies here, might be a good idea. Alright, so... we have Emma, which is going to join the first player team. So the first player team is going to be Emma, Marcus Johnson, Gaia Nairja, and Brandon Kane. Alright, so player 1 is going to get 4 characters, so 4 dice plus an extra 1. And player 2 has got 3 characters plus an extra die. Alright. First player token, which is our big old bush knife here, is going to go to Team 1. And we're going to call those, we'll have to come up with snazzy names for the different teams, so. Alright, what else am I needing to do for setup? Oh, yes. So, Emma has this with her, the blueprints that she brought in that got everyone excited here. And then once per round, when performing a search at Rexon, with this survivor, you may look at and keep 1 additional card. So if we can get Emma in to the Rexon, that might be good. All right, now, the other thing that one of the other modules that the Long Night adds... Oh, Sparky the stunt dog. Yeah, he's in there somewhere. Is the new equipment. So you have 10 new equipments. And you shuffle these up. And you're going to randomly select 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 to bring in the game. The rest are out of the game. So let's see what we got. We have the turret. We need 2 advancement tokens. All players with a survivor at the colony may use this ability once during their turn each round. Place a non-event card from your hand into the waste pile to roll a die. If you roll a 3 or lower, kill 1 zombie at the colony. If you roll, do not roll for exposure. If you roll 4 or higher, kill 2 zombies at the colony. Do not roll for exposure. It costs us 2 advancement tokens. So advancement tokens, you can now earn special advancement tokens. Is this them? Yes, this is them. So these are the new advancement tokens. Certain cards and things. We need 2 advancements to get the dirt. What else do we have? We have the greenhouse. We need 3 advancement tokens. Oh, good lord. All players with a survivor at the colony may use this ability once during their turn each round. Place 1 food token in the supply. Ooh. We have... what do we have? Bedding. is what we have there. Bedding, yes, bedding. Waiting for the camera to zoom in would be nice. We need 4 advancement tokens. Good lord. At the beginning of each round, all non-exiled players may roll an extra action die or remove 1 despair token from a survivor they control. Okay. And last but not least, we have the outhouse. It only needs 2 advancement tokens. When a player uses an action die to remove waste from the waste pile, remove 2 additional cards from the game. So those are our 4 cards that we might be able to get. And if I had anywhere to put these, anywhere at all, I would actually put them. But I don't. So, I'm just gonna stack them up because we're not gonna have any of those advancements now. We got a whole bunch of characters we're gonna go through to see if we can find the All right, well, we found Gaia. I found her. That's 1. Woohoo! Okay. Oh, we found another one. Emma Han. Here's Emma, because she's got the little blue shoulder pads. So that's Emma right there. All right, so that's her. We need a ninja. We have the superhero guy. I think these are all going to come from the... Oh, I think I found the ninja dude. Here's the ninja guy. Right here. Here is the ninja dude. I think this guy and this guy were both from the new pack. So let's take a look at the new pack of cards. Maybe. Yeah, there's one of them. There's the, what's his name? The Enforcer. Dun dun dun, the Enforcer. Okay. Yep, here's another one of our new guys. Marcus Johnson, the security officer. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 7, so I only need Derek Yoshida and Brandon Kane are the only 2 guys I'm missing. So Brandon Kane looks like he's the janitor guy. So he's probably like sweeping or so. Oh, here's Derek Yoshida right here. So there's Derek. Now, if we could find the janitor, we would be good to go. Oh, let's keep the monkey out. We're going to need him for later. Doo-doo-doo. There's the dog Lower Snower wants. Trying to find one that has a broom or a rake or something in his hand, and figured that would be easy to see, but are you kidding? Oh, here he is, right here. I told a mop. He's got a mop in his hand. There you go. And there's everyone. All right. Get these. The new game, or the new expansion, Warring Colonies, came with like 15 new people. Again, like this guy here couldn't get in the game because his special ability is dealing with just the Warring Colonies expansion. So some of them we didn't get a chance to see. And I'm dropping them all over the floor, which doesn't help. All right, 7 and 3. We got cards. We got dice. We have our new... Oh, last but not least, if you're playing 2-player, then you have your starting equipment. And you'll know it says starting down at the bottom, starting item. We're going to shuffle that up, and each team is going to get 7, count them, 7 cards. Now you can, it says if you wanted to play an easier mode, you can go in and select a 7, but I'm going to just do it randomly for each team. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. All right. So let's quickly go over your round summary. Players are gonna take their turns. We're gonna reveal a crisis card first. We're gonna roll our action dice, and then players are gonna take our turns spending our action dice to do actions. Over here it tells you on your player turn, actions that require dice are attacking, searching, barricading, cleaning waste, and attracting zombies are your actions that cost dice. Actions that do not require dice: playing a card, adding a card to a crisis, moving a survivor, spending food tokens, request, handoff, or vote to exile. After our turns are done, then we're going to go to the colony phase where we're going to pay food. And the way we have to pay food is for every one we have at the colony, for every 2, we have to pay 1 food. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You round up in this game, so we have to pay 4 food at the end of the turn. If we can't pay 4 food, then for every food we're short, we put a bad token in there, which makes our morale go down every time it activates. So we want to pay our food, then we have to check our waste. The most amount of waste we can ever have here is 9. If you have, for every 10 objects you have in there, you lose 1 morale, because people don't like stinky garbage. Makes sense. Then we're going to resolve our crisis to find out whether or not we were successful with it. Then we're going to add zombies. We're going to check our main objectives to see if it's completed. Then we're going to move the round tracker, and then we're going to pass the first player token to the next player and do it all over again. All right. So, reveal the crisis. The crisis. The crisis. The crisis. All right. So remember our objective, and I think I shuffled that enough. Our objective is to get just simply 2 tools, or a tool and a fuel. Get a tool and a fuel from somewhere and bring it back and put it underneath this card. Once we've got a tool and a fuel, card under this objective, we complete it. We must have at least one card of each type. And of course we need to do 2 because we have 2 players. If you had 4 players, then you need to have 4 of them there. So, tools and fuel. So you can see on each of the different locations out on the board, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Police station, grocery store, school, library, hospital, gas station. This is our main colony here. Every time we move from one location to another, we're going to roll our little exposure dice to have bad things happen to us. On this, there are several sides that are blank, so nothing happens. There's a a wound mark, which means if you take a wound, you're going to take a wound and put it on your character. There's also the frostbite mark, which is twice as bad because at the end of your turn, if you have a frostbite mark on there, you also get a wound. And then last but not least, you have the bite mark, which we talked about earlier, instantly kills your character. And if you're with other characters, you could cause an outbreak, which would make the whole process start again with another character. So, yeah. But in each of the different locations, you can see it tells you what you commonly find in this location. So at the library, number 1 thing is books. Number 2 is fuel. Number 3 is food. Number 4 is tools. And number 5 is survivors. So we are specifically looking for fuel and tools. The little crossed tools and then the fuel. So obviously locations that get those objects are very, very good for us. So let's see what our crisis is. Our crisis in turn 1. Here we go. Bam. Gathering of friends. Oh, good Lord. So we need either tools and or weapons donated to this card equal to the number of non-exiled players. Again, that will always equal 2 because we're playing a 2-player game. So we need 2 tools and or weapons that we can donate to this card to complete it here. So we can't keep the tools and we can't use the tools to put under this card if we're giving them to this. If we fail, we're going to add 3 zombies to the gas station and 3 zombies to the police station. So if we choose not to do this, which you might want to not complete it if you can't or it's going to be too difficult or whatever, we would add 3 zombies to the gas station and 3 zombies to the police station. So in the locations, you can see there are spots for survivors. You can see we can have up to 3 survivors in this location. And it also has these little outbreak symbols. And that tells you how many zombies can go. So in this case, there's 4 for the police station. The library only has 3. Gas station only has 3. If there's ever a survivor at a location that has zombies at it and you need to put another zombie, but you can't because it's filled up, then that location is overrun and all the survivors are killed that are there. So you don't want locations to become overrun. Let's look at player 1's hand to see what we got. We got a medicine, a fuel, a medicine, a fuel. We have a junk, and we have a food. Wow. Now remember, this we can use for this crisis. Got a jet, Zed Deads. Have a good night. See you later, buddy. So we can use starter items for this to complete it. We cannot use starter items to complete our main objective, though. So Player 1, he's not really thrilled with his hand. And we're going to need a bunch of food at the end of the turn, too. If we have a bunch of survivor, or if we have a bunch of people in the colony. And, remember, holy cow, it just keeps getting worse and worse, doesn't it? It just keeps getting worse and worse. Don't forget, our objective says, each round during the add zombies step of the colony phase, increase the number of zombies added to the colony by 4. So normally, for every 2, you add a zombie. So right now we would add 2, 4, 6, 7. Round up is 4, so we'd add 4 zombies there. Plus 4 because of the card, so we'd add 8 zombies to our spot. You can see we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 spots. I believe that would cause an overrun and everyone in the colony would die and we would be in big, big trouble. So what we can do is we can move some people out so they don't count against our colony amount, which would be good. And then the second thing is we can obviously thin the herd, have some of them attack some of the zombies. So we revealed our crisis. The next thing we do is roll our action dice. So each player rolls their action dice. This is player 1. You want high numbers. High numbers. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. A 3, 2 4s, and 2 5s. That is pretty good. Player number, or team 2. You have 1 fewer dice because they have 1 fewer player. Okay, a 1, 4, 5, 6. Not the best, but I've seen worse. Okay. So at the end of the turn, we're going to need food to pay for people to eat. We're going to have a crisis, which we're going to have to pay either tools or guns. And player 2 says, don't worry about the crisis. I'll take care of the crisis because he's got a couple junk or advanced cards, which has got the tool icon. So he can pay for that. So player 2 will take care of that. So player 1 is free to do whatever he thinks he needs to do. All right, so I think like the best location for weapons. So Marcus is our main fighter, and he hits on a 1 or higher. So I mean, yeah. And then he's got a special ability. He's going to add once per round. Marcus may select one of his equipped weapons and use its once per round ability twice. So basically, if we can give him a weapon. So I'm going to send him to the police station as a free action. Moving is a free action. You can see here. Move. So Marcus, one of the big guys, is going to go there. Unfortunately, we have to roll the dreaded dice of doom to see what happens to him on the way over there. Does he get caught in the freezing cold? Does he get attacked, bitten by an enemy and instantly die? What happens to him? He takes a wound. Which is not the end of the world. Actually, in this game, it's not the end of the world. With the characters we have, it's not the end of the world in this game. But Marcus will take a wound, which we'll put on his character down here. Again, 3 wounds, dead. So Marcus moved, and now Marcus needs to search. So if we're searching, you have to use a die. For us, 5 or higher is a successful search. Fortunately, I've got 2 5s that I rolled. So I'm going to spend a 5, put it in my used action over here, and I'm going to have him search. He's going to draw a card at the police station, and hopefully he'll draw a good card. Now, again, normally you have 20 cards here, but we have 25 because we have 5 extra random cards from the Warring Colonies expansion that are in here, plus the 20 normal cards that come in this location. And we're going to draw a card. We got bottled water. This is our random item, so this is one of the extra cards that we put in there. It is a waste pile. Roll an action die and add it to your action die pool. Now, so we found some bottled water, and we can just take that and be done. The other thing you can do on your turn, you notice each location has these little ears on it. Those represent you trying to find more items, and you're searching around, and there's a possibility that you make too much noise and attract some extra zombies over. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not happy with the bottled water. I don't want water. I want something better. So we're going to rummage around. So we're going to put a little token there, and we're going to draw another card and hopefully find something better. Wow, we found another random item that we added here. So these are 2 of the 5 cards that I added into that deck, and you saw me shuffle the shit out of it. The other item we found was coffee. And then in the waste pile, roll 2 action dice and add them to your unused action dice pool. So yeah, I will take the coffee. And then this one will just go on to the bottom. And that is his turn. Now, do I want him to search again? You can spend all the dice on one character. You can mix and match however you want. Right? I think we're going to move Emma out as well, because her special ability is, again, once per round, you may reveal the top 4 cards from the item deck at Emma's location. If you reveal at least 1 book card, you may select one of the revealed book cards and place it in your hand. Shuffle the remaining cards back into the deck. So we're going to need food, right? We're going to need a bunch of food. Does anyone have food? Nobody's got food. I have 1 food. So player 1 is going to, again, spending a card is free action. We're going to put this in the waste pile. And now our waste is getting filled up. We can add a food to the supply. We need to go maybe to the grocery store, because there's a lot of food at the grocery store, obviously. Emma Han going to the library would be good. She's got a 3 higher search, which is really nice. She could find several objects. We do need food. Who's going to go and find some food? The ninja and the vigilante are going to try and, let's see. Oh, right. So I was going to tell you what each of the characters are going to do so we can draw a crisis card or a event card, which is going to be a little hard for me to determine that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play out the turn and then we're going to flip up the card and see if anything I did during the turn would have activated the card. All right, I'm going to Brandon Keane. I'm going to attack, and I'm spending a 4 dice. He is a right here. He's a 2 or higher, so he is going to knock on a zombie. Boom, which is automatic, but he has to roll the dice to see if bad things happen. Nothing happened. Lovely. Oh, you know what? He only works at non-colony locations. So he's gonna have to go out. He's gonna go to the grocery store and try and get some food. Okay. All right. I think Emma she's gonna move to the library. Emma, where are you, Emma? Hello, Emma. You're the one with the book, yes. She's going to go to the library. Now we're going to roll to see. Okay, nothing. Nothing bad happened on the way over there. That's good. And Emma searches on a 3 or higher. So let's see what this says. Again, her special ability is, once per round, you may reveal the top 4 cards from the item deck at Emma's location. If you reveal at least one book card, you may select one of the revealed books. So this is, it doesn't even take an action. So she's going to reveal the top 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is any of them books? Oh, there's a book. And that is it. So she has Run, Doris, Run. Once per round, when moving, this survivor did not roll for exposure. That is super good, so she can move around without getting exposed to the environment. Okay, putting these other cards on the bottom. All right, so on her turn, she is now going to spend a 4 to search this library. Shoplifting with friends. Once per round, when performing a search at this survivor, you may look at and keep 1 additional card. So she can draw 2. That's really good. So we're going to spend a 5 on her. And she's going to draw 2 and keep 2. Food and a reading lamp. Perform an attack with the survivor you control without using an action die. Wow, she got some great stuff right off the bat. She's going to turn this food in. And we're going to get another food. Where is our food? Here's our food. So we have 2 food there. How many food are we going to have to pay? 2, 4, 5. So 3 food. So if we had 1 more food, we'd be okay. So player 1 still has 1 more die. I really want to get Marcus a weapon. So it's a 6. So I'm going to search with the 6. And come on, Marcus. Find a good weapon, buddy. Come on. We found a shiv. Kill one zombie or place 2 wound tokens on a survivor that shares location with the survivor you control. What is this waste bio? I was looking to see what that little that's a crisis card. Okay. 3. Oh, I think it just tells us where, if you use it, that's where it goes. So he could take a shiv just to kill a zombie, or place 2 wound tokens on a survivor that shares the location with the survivor you control. All right. You know what? I don't want to stir up a hornet's nest and do too much. I guess we can just try to get a weapon later. Okay, so that is player 1 done. Now let's see if anything that I did that turn. Fernando Suarez. Is Fernando Suarez in play? No. We do not have Fernando Suarez. So nothing I would have done would have changed anything. So we can just ignore this card and move on. Okay. All right. I guess I could put it at the bottom of the deck. So this colony, there we go. All right. So now it is faction 2 or player 2's turn. So player 2, we still need a food there, or if we remove one more player out of there, we will only need 2 food. So I think the Enforcer's moving out anyways. But we are going to play 2 cards into the Crisis. Normally you would put these face down, because if you're playing a competitive game again, you know, with your friends or whatever, you don't want to let them know if you're the traitor. Okay. He is going to turn in a food. Just so we have one just in case. It's fine. He only searches out of 6 though. He's terrible at searching. All right. The Enforcer hits on a 1 or higher. So fight 1 or plus. And search on 6, so he's really good at fighting and terrible at everything else. So we're going to use that 1. We might as well to fight a zombie. Kill it off. We're going to kill this little baby zombie. Unfortunately, let's hope it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. Literally. Whew, it doesn't. Okay. Then the vigilante is going to move to the grocery store. He's going to go. You know what he's going to do? You do not need to. You do not need to roll for exposure if you use fuel. So we're going to use this so I don't have to roll for that because I don't want him to die. And then I'm going to spend a 6 for him to search the grocery store, give us some food. No, he found another. Oh, you know what? We didn't. Let's just shuffle these up just to make sure. I can't remember when I added all these cards if I shuffled anything. I'm going to assume I did, but it was funny that we had another random item. There's only 5 of them in this again, in each one of these decks. All right, grocery store. What do we find at the grocery store? We find the hammer. Of course we did. Once per round performing a barricade action, you may build 2 barricades instead of 1 at the survivor's location. That's interesting. What do we need for a barricade? I think we are going to spend 4. We're going to spend that. And we're going to put 2 barricades at his location. We're going to build 2 barricades at his location for the price of 1. I don't think building a barricade is anything. 10 and 13. Let me just make sure. Yep, okay. Yep. Just choose a die and spend a die. Okay, we have 1 more die remaining to spend. And that's going to be Mike Chow. While performing an attack with Mike, you did not roll for exposure. So Mike is going to kill this zombie. And he doesn't have to roll for exposure. Okay. That is our actions. That is our player turns are over. If I had any room whatsoever. Okay. Alright, so we now have to pay food. We have 4 survivors at the colony. So that's 2 food. So we're going to pay her 2 food, which we unfortunately will do. We will check the waste. Is there more than 9 here? I don't believe there's that much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, 20. Get the janitor to start cleaning that out in a little bit. All right, resolve the crisis. So the crisis is, do we have tools or guns? Do we have 2 of them? Let's see, do we? Look at that, we do. So we were successful. These do not go to the waste. No, these just get discarded. And then we are done with these cards. They do not get in the waste. Do not accidentally put those in the waste. Where are the rest of the... There they are. Okay. So that was the crisis card. Add zombies. So we add 2 zombies. 1, 2, plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 because of half the amount of players rounded up. We have 4. Half of that is 2. And then 4 because of this. So yeah, we continue to run into problems there. Alright, add zombies. Check the main objective. Did we complete it? No. We remove the remove the round marker down to round 2. We slide the first player token over. And we now start the second round. Actually, this is on 2, the 2 spot there, way over there. So we have to be careful. I think if that gets to 0, we're going to be dead. So again, we need to find some tools. What have we found so far? Oh, we found a tool, actually. We have to find a tool and a fuel. We haven't found a fuel. Emma might be able to go get us some fuel. She can... Oh, also... Oops, I almost forgot. A zombie shows up at each location that we have a character at. And then we have to roll a zombie there. For each noise token, on a 1, 2, 3, another zombie shows up. No, 4. This just gets discarded. No zombie shows up. No zombie hears it. So, okay. All right. We got time for another turn, I think. I'm going to go with it. So, player number 1, we're going to reveal the crisis. The crisis is empty stomachs. We need food or medicine. We need 2 food or 2 medicine. If we fail, we're going to add 2 starvation tokens to each colony's food supply. Okay. So we need 2 food for this. We need 2 food for this. We need food. Remember, I don't know how much food I have left over here. Player 1 has only got 2 food. That's why he sent his boy to the grocery store. Alright. So that is reveal the crisis. Roll the action dice. I need some 6s so I can use Knucklehead over there. I got a 6. 1, 3, 5, 6. Okay. Player team 1. One, 3, 3, 5, 5. Okay. Oh, you know what we forgot to do is see if player 2, when they were doing their thing, if it would have, if Eric Parker and at least one other survivor are at the school. No one's at the school and Eric Parker is not. So nothing would have happened. We can ignore it and move on. All right. Okay. I need to look at a special ability that I've never ever done, and I want to find out how to do it. I want to try and draw some I want to draw some zombies over to me. That is an action. Does that cause an, is that an action? Attract 2 zombies, yes. Attract. To perform an attract action, a player must choose a survivor he controls and spend an action die of any result to move 2 zombies from any location to any other empty entrance space at the chosen survivor's location. So he is going to attract, he's going to spend the 1 to attract 2 zombies. He's just going to take this zombie and this zombie. And he's going to attract them over. The first zombie would come and land. The second zombie, I think, hits the barricade and dies and removes the barricade. I believe is how that should happen. He's gonna spend his 5+ and just kill these 2 zombies. Kill 3 zombies at the enforcer's location. Do not roll for exposure. Add 2 noise tokens to his location. So he's gonna add 2 noise as he makes a triumphant crash, bang, smash him up. Okay. Mike Chow is going to spend this. Oop, it was a 3. Wherever it went. And he's going to kill a zombie. Does not have to roll for exposure. And then with the 6, the enforcer is going to do a search. Bottle of water, roll an action die and add it to your action pool. He's going to go banging and make some more noise because he wants to find some food. He found a wrench. Once per round, you may spend an action die to attack with the survivor. This does not need to meet or exceed his survival attack value. Well, there's another tool, so he'll take the tool. He actually has 2 tools now. And put the bottle of water on the bottom of the deck. And for some reason, we cannot fucking find food. That is player 1. Now, let's see if anything that he did. If Articus Saunders and Scott Wheeler are both in play. Neither one of them, I think, are in play. So, once again, we can just ignore that. Alright, that is player 1's turn. Player 2. So let me see what Emma can do now. Perform an attack with a survivor you control without using an action die. Once per round when performing a search, you can look and keep an additional card. You can move and not use any exposure. So Emma is going to move and not. She's going to go. Probably there. I'm just thinking. She could go to the police station and search for him. But we need food, so. Oh, right. Player 1 is not done with his turn. He's going to put 2 cards in there. Shh. Okay. So Emma is moving over there. And now she's going to look at 2 and keep 2. Medicine and food 3. That's huge. That is huge, 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 huge. So medicine will keep. Food 3, we're going to just turn that in right now. 1, 2, 3. So right now, we got enough food for basically 2 rounds to feed these people there. That was Emma. Good job, Emma. So that was her free move and no exposure. And then it was her double. You look at and keep 1 additional card. Yep. All right. All right. So that was her. Oh, we had to spend a die for that. 3. We're going to spend a die for that. All right, so we're going to spend the 5. For Marcus, he's going to do another search. 2 outsiders. Event. Add the top card of the survivor deck to your followers and place their matching standee at the colony. Add 1 help with survivor token to the colony. Interesting. So, we got a new person that came in. I kept these cards right here for a reason. We got Kamar Sen, the public speaker. Got a 65 influence. 3 or higher to attack, 6 or higher to search. Anywhere, once per round, whenever the colony would lose morale. You can roll a die and a roll of 4 or higher. Do not lose that morale. You can do that once per turn. Wow. And then we also have another person with Kamar. Probably we'll say Kamar's son. And so now we have 2 more mouths to feed. 2 more mouths to feed. Looking to see if I can find them pretty easily. Not easily. Here he is. Come on. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now it's going to cost us 3 food to feed him. So our 2 turns, Not 2 turns anymore. But he also will help us and give us an extra die and etc., blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, we're going to spin the 1, and we are going to discard 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waste. Because we have the janitor. Brandon Kane, special ability. Once per round, you may remove 5 cards instead of 3 from the waste pile when taking the clean waste action. Lovely. We need to kill a few more zombies would be nice. We'll take this 3 and have the janitor kill off this zombie. Unfortunately, we got to roll to see if bad things are going to happen. He takes a wound. Or he takes a... Is that a frostbite? I think it is a frostbite. He takes a frostbite. Ew. Worse. Now, fortunately for us, he takes a frostbite. But Gaia Najar, the physical therapist, anywhere at the end of your turn, you remove any type of wound token from a survivor at the colony. So she can remove any kind of wound, and I believe a frostbite is any kind of wound, so she can remove that at the end of your turn. So I guess we keep going. We have one more die. This is going to be interesting. We're going to go ahead and... yeah, we got another 5. We're going to search again. We're going to search here. Grenade launcher. Now we're talking once per round. You may kill 2 zombies at any non-colony location. Do not roll for exposure. Destroy all barricades and explosive trap tokens at the location. And he can do this twice per round because that's what he does. Once per round, you may kill 2 zombies at any non-colony location. Alright, well, that's what he's going to do. He's going to kill 2 zombies here. He's going to kill 2 zombies here. This is a weapon. He might have to give up that weapon and get his ass back over here, because they're going to run out of turns here in a minute. All right, so that, at the end of her turn, Gaia Najar, at the end of your turn, you may remove any type of wound token from a survivor at the colony. Brandon Kane is the survivor at the colony, and she's going to remove that. Thank you. Anyone else? I think that's it. All right. Pretty sure that is it. Pay food. We have 2, 4, 6 people, so we're going to pay 3 food. 1, 2, 3. We check waste. There is 0 waste in there. We're doing great with waste. Resolve the crisis. Well, we need 2 food or medicine. Fortunately for us, we have 2 food in there. So the crisis has been averted. Let's put this face up. There we go. Add zombies. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3 plus 4. We're going to add 7 zombies. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zombies. 3 for this and 4 for this. Okay. And then we had zombies here. We had 1 zombie for you. We had 2 zombies for you. And then we got to roll 3 dice. Any 1, 2, or 3s will add a zombie to that location. And we had no 1, 2, or 3s. So we had no extra zombies. And these tokens go away. That was pretty good. That's all the zombies, correct? Yes. Check the main objective. No, we still haven't completed that. Move the round marker down to 1. And pass the first player token back to the other player. And that is where we will say good night for now. So, after a couple turns, we got plenty of zombies in the causing problems at the colony. We've finally found a grenade launcher. We can get that grenade launcher, and we got tools back over. Did Emma actually? Yeah, Emma's got the reading lamp, which is considered a tool, so she can use her run, Doris, run, where she can move and not roll for exposure to bring back the reading lamp. And then before she turns it in, she can actually use its special ability, which would be cool. We got another new survivor here for player 1, who now has 5 characters. We got Brandon Kane, Gaia Najar, Marcus Johnson, Emma Han, and the new Kamar Sen and his son. Whoa, showed up, and that was awesome. Drop that right where I wanted to drop it and knock over as many zombies as humanly possible. Okay. So, Kamar Sen and his son showed up. And he's going to hopefully prevent some morale issues once we have if we have a morale problem. So, oh, you know what we forgot to do? Let's check. Hang on. Is anything I would have done if Hawk and Scott Wheeler are both in play? No. So, hardly ever do these cards ever come into play. Like, very, very rarely do they come into play. It's not like, if most of them aren't, like, very simple, like, if character is wounded, then this happens. No, it's like this really weird, obscure thing. Like, if Emma Han is at the hospital with the dog, then do this event. Like if that was going to, randomly happen, then yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But there you go. That is a look at Dead of Winter with the expansion, solo, two-handed, multiplayer action going on. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind leaving us a like, a comment, a suggestion if you see something, what you didn't like, if we missed something. And we'll be back tomorrow with part 2. Enjoying this immensely. I really think this is a cool game. And I think you can pick this up pretty reasonably priced. So if you don't own this game and this looks like something you might want to try, you might want to pick it up. It's readily available from what I remember. I didn't have any problems. Like I said, I have an extra copy of Dead of Winter just that I ordered a while ago. So if you can't find Dead of Winter, let me know and I can send it over to you. Anyways, take care, my friends. We'll see you all down the line.